Well, good morning, everybody. It is a Friday morning. This is October 30th. One more day to Halloween and that fun day. And it looks like it's going to be today. It's going to be a beautiful day. It looks like it might even be up in the upper 40s, which is amazing for what we've been through. It's going to feel practically balmy, positively balmy, as they say. So today we are going to just take a look at a few little verses here. Three, I guess, is what we've got. 46, 47, 48 out of the 9th chapter of Luke's Gospel. And if you remember, it's been a busy week for Jesus. He's been doing bigger and better things all the way along, and he keeps telling the apostles that something's coming, that he's going to be persecuted and crucified, and that he's going to die and rise again. And so there's more to come, and it's building. It's a crescendo, as they say. So let's take a look at today's verses, chapter 9, verses 46 to 48. And see what's going on, what's going through the disciples' minds after seeing all of this. What possibly could they be thinking about after all of these things that have been going on? And one has to wonder, right? So let's find out. All right. An argument arose among them as to which one of them was the greatest. But Jesus, aware of their inner thoughts, took a little child and put it by his side and said to them, "Whoever welcomes this child in my name welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. For the least among all of you is the greatest." All right. So the answer to what the apostles could possibly be thinking about after witnessing all of these amazing events of Jesus' transfiguration for Peter, James, and John, especially, then the bringing back to life the healing of that boy that they couldn't heal, by the way. The boys, they're thinking about who among us, not talking about Jesus, I would hope, who among us is the greatest, for crying out loud. That's what's really important. Who's better than the other guy? That's what they're thinking about. That's what they're arguing about, apparently. And Jesus interjects and says, shows them the right way, I guess we want to say it. He could have said to them, remember that little boy the other day that was in convulsions, that epileptic fit, the one you couldn't heal? Guess who got him right again? So you all ain't all that, as they might say. But Jesus is not that brutal, usually. Sometimes he is pretty brutal, though. But here he brings a child and says, whoever welcomes this one. And children, we have to remember, children were very important, especially for women to have a child in that culture, because it was a continuation of their lineage. And for women, it was someone to take care of them, a male child especially. Not so much for unfortunately for a female child, but for a male child, to have a male child for the men, because it's a patriarchal society, somebody to inherit their name and their belongings, to continue the family line, the family name. That was that was very important, and something that they put a lot of stock in. However, a child was to be seen and not heard. A child was basically a possession. When they were young, they didn't have a high status in that society. Even though they were important to the individuals, you just didn't give much attention to a child. But here, Jesus says, whoever welcomes this child, and an adult male, especially welcoming a child, that just would have seemed very peculiar. An adult male would have basically ignored the children unless they were their own, and even then they wouldn't have been paying a great deal of attention to them. So it's more that's the job of the servants and the wife. So for him to say, whoever greets this one, the least, the one that we diminish, the one that we pay no attention to, whoever welcomes this one is the greatest among you. Whoever's the least of all of you is the greatest. And the idea there isn't this race to have this false modesty and this pious humbleness. That's not the idea. It's supposed to be a genuine caring for the other, a genuine caring, a genuine diminishing of your own import. You are not all that, as they say. And God's creation, and what you are supposed to do for God's creation, you are supposed to be blessing God's creation. That's much more important than you individually. It's not about how high and bright your star is shining. So he pretty quickly corrects them on that. And so we don't want to start, at the moment we start believing our own press, we're really probably in trouble. I've said that before. And ego, when ego walks in the door, God walks out. I've said that many times. My mentor, Bob Mulby, told me that one, and I've always remembered it and always cherished that saying, because it's very true. Once we start focusing on us and how great and wonderful, which one of us is the greatest? And none of us. That's the answer. Jesus is the greatest. It's all about him. And we have to remember that whatever we're doing, we are supposed to live our lives for him. We're supposed to live our lives for his bidding, for his creation, for his children. That's why we pull that child up to the side and greet them in Jesus' name, and love them as one of our own. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I've got Gail's phone here, and it's ringing off the hook today. So I will let you go, and I'll ask you to please have a very blessed day, and please be a blessing to someone today. And we'll see you all tomorrow morning. All right, 9 o'clock. Bye-bye.